control measures. The Republicans in the House and the Senate moved for postponement to a lame duck session November 18th before any legislation could be discussed or acted upon. Why did this happen, and what's going to happen on November 18th? Minute and a half.
Well, thank you. The reason that the session was postponed was because I understand that there was between 30 and 40 bills that were presented to the Assembly just in the 48 hours before that session began. So there was no way for them to go through each of those bills and parse what they were saying. This language is very important, as you can imagine, in legislation. So they had to take time to think what was in, to review what was in those bills and what to do with them. They've appointed a blue ribbon crime commission to look at gun laws and see what solutions are out there for overcoming gun violence. But understand that individuals are responsible for their actions as well. You know, it's not the weapons that they choose, and they can choose whatever weapon they want to. But individuals that need help. We do have very strong community mental health, or mental health laws in Virginia. And we're very low on this kind of violent crime. It's 1,000 gun deaths a year in Virginia. 600 are by suicide, 200 of those by veterans. So, you know, there's 400 gun deaths a year. And that's, you know, it's an issue that needs to be addressed. It's being addressed. It's going to come out with a commission. They've held hearings down in Richmond, and I believe that there'll be some concrete solutions that come out of that. So, thank you for the question.
You're welcome. Mr. Krizek, a minute and a half.
Thank you. So we had 92 minutes of debate on that day. We were prepared to be there as long as it took. Can you all hear me? Because this is my microphone. You got almost eat it. We could have been there as long as it takes to listen to all those bills. Yes, there was 45 bills, but the governor had proposed 6 specific bills, and these are not new bills. They've been introduced year after year in the General Assembly. The reason we didn't have the debate on it was because they punted it down the road to the Crime Commission, which, by the way, as I mentioned earlier, I am a member of. So I was back down there last week ago or so, listening to these bills. But we're talking about some really important gun safety bills, like prohibiting people from, that have been convicted of violent misdemeanors for possessing guns. I mean, this is a public health crisis in America right now. We have 51 young people who are shot every single day. We used to have some really good laws on the books that worked very well, like the 1 gun a month limit, and that was a very commonsensical gun bill. We're talking about enacting universal background checks. Right now, there's 45,508 online sales that don't get any background checks. So we have a lot we could do. We should have done it then. We should have done it last year. We should have done it 2 years ago. And when the Democrats take over, and next year we're going to make some good gun common sense laws. We're going to pass them. And we're going to take care of. We're going to fight this public health crisis.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ebbin.
Thank you. As I mentioned, I co-chair our Gun Violence Prevention Caucus with Delegate Kathleen Murphy of the plan, and Delegate Krizek is a member. I would say, though, that a Virginian dies every 9 to 10 hours of gun violence, whether by suicide or homicide. And there's no reason not to go over bills for evidence-based solutions, and that would allow for more time than in the regular session when things are constantly under a lot of pressure of 46 to 60 days. Now, my bill would have dealt with high-capacity magazines, assault weapons, and for suicide, one of the things that's super important is extreme risk protection orders. So if anyone in this room knew someone who was showing signs, whether on the internet, in their family, and so forth, they could go to the Commonwealth's attorney, they could go to law enforcement, and they could consider filing a petition with a court, and only the court would decide whether or not to remove those weapons on a temporary basis until the person had answered the court to show that they were competent to have a firearm. But the reason we're not going back to November 18th is a simple reason. There's an election, and they want to be able to appoint the judges if we win before we reconvene. So, yeah, that's what they want to do. So, I just can't state strongly enough that this is a public health crisis, and Virginia can't run away from it any longer.